Short-term rentals continue to be a controversial practice, and the debate has been heated in Pacific Grove. New restrictions were put in place there this year. KION's Aaron Groff is here now with what both sides are saying about it. Aaron?
Spencer, there has been a series of moves scaling back short-term rentals, which has led to lawsuits against the city. As those develop, I heard from people for and against this rental option, which could be decided by the voters in November. A lengthy debate on short-term rentals continues for Pacific Grove. The last few months have been a pushback against the practice, a cap of 250 licenses in the city, no more than 15% of homes on any block, a lottery to reach that figure, and now enough signatures for a measure on the November ballot with even greater restrictions.
Told he had to go because they had to fix it up so they could rent it as a short-term rental.
Tom Aikman lives just off Lighthouse and says his block has been packed with STRs. Tom has seen a change in his neighborhood he doesn't like, with longtime residents, he says, being forced to leave for an influx in strangers.
There's no advance notice that these things are coming. You get your license from the city, you go into business, you open your little motel. The neighbors are told afterward.
He says parking has been a major hassle, with sometimes rude or invasive arrivals.
80% of the short-term rentals in Pacific Grove are owned by people who do not live in Pacific Grove.
This year's lottery meant less income for Alka Joshi. She manages one of the properties lost. A blow to her revenue and for the owners of the roughly 50 other stripped licenses, people who could be priced out of their homes.
There are STR owners who use this income as a way to stay in PG, which is a very expensive place to stay.
Alka also says to think about the money. Pacific Grove has a large tourist economy. Many of the visitors stay in these residential homes.
What are they going to do to replace the $1.8 million that the STRs are currently giving to the city's budget to pay for essential city services?
So what is at stake in November? Well, if this measure passes, it would prohibit short-term rentals outside the coastal zone. So essentially, it's just about a hard stop. It would still allow home sharing, but that's a much less used option. Alka, who you just heard from, says the measure would cut down the total practice by about 75%.